So you want to host a UHC, but you're not exactly sure how. Well, I surely can help. So welcome to how I created Soulcraft UHC Season 7. And for those who haven't watched it, go watch it. It's pretty jank, I will admit. It was a modded UHC that I hosted recently for the Soulcraft group, a group that I organize and whatnot. And there was a couple issues overall, but it ran pretty fine. The reason I'm making this video, by the way, just to preface, whenever you run a modded event or of some form, not every plugin that you need to utilize for, say, like a UHC is available publicly. Like, you're not gonna find every Arctic scenario or whatever, um, but you can just make your own UHC, and this video and map download, which you can find in the description. By the time this video goes live, this will have been on Planet Minecraft for at least a day. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna explain it, and hopefully y'all can do your own thing with it. So, big thing to note is that I forgot to build it here. But usually, whenever you want to do like a homebrew project, you're going to need a server. I used my own secondary server because I do run two servers. I run the Soulcraft SMP server and then a secondary for any other chaos I want to perform. um, and whenever for an event like this, you usually have like a platform, as you can see in like the starting and finale episodes to Soulcraft UHC Season 7. I had a button that would change it quickly from day to night and then night to day, just in rapid succession, which would trigger a daylight sensor that would be right here normally. It was messing me up, so I had to remove it. That would drop a wooden sword into this dropper right here. Now, this dropper never actually gets to work because of the fact that it is actually being used as a storage container for this comparator. Now, the way comparators work, by the way, is that they can sense if a storage container is full up to 15 bits of redstone. Like, for example, if like one wooden sword was in here, it would track up to here, and it would start the game. Of course, I have this block right here, um, and usually there's a repeater right there. And then it would do its thing and it would start the game and whatnot. But we're gonna get to all that later. So I have it labeled right here. This starts it. I guess I should just go over these first. So this is the episode counter. It goes off with the day-night cycle, which the daylight center usually flicks back on around 6 in the morning in the Minecraft game. Um, which, if you want to also tell what time it is, you can go to the Vanilla Tweaks website and get the Coordinates HUD data pack. It's very useful. I utilize it in my hardcore world and on the Soulcraft SMP. It's very much useful. Here's episode 2. One thing we will discuss later is that you will have to create teams, which that is a command you can do in Minecraft already. But yeah, this will clear your absorption, which gets given to you at the start of the game, and then it'll also instantly heal anyone. Final heal. There's a message that says episode 2 starts now. Just a team modify for players where people can actually hurt each other, because you don't want people hurting each other in episode 1. And then a sound command that plays the ambient wither sound to all the players to kind of just say, hey, this is episode 2. Usually players won't actually hear this because most players actually play with their sound off. I... Hell, why is it red? Hello? I Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, most players won't actually hear that. I usually have mine set to 30% anyways. Um, yeah, that's about it for episode 2. Episode 3 has a border TP, right? Yeah, it'll shrink the border until a certain time. Usually, I have my borders set to 3,000, which from the middle of the world, which is where you should have your platform at, 0, 0, it'll be 1,500 blocks from there to the border in any given direction. That's just a general guide, for like anywhere from like 10 to 40 people. You can make it bigger if you want. It doesn't really matter. Um, and then there's episode 4. Episode 4 doesn't really have anything special. Same with 5, 6, and then 7 just says meet up next episode. And then episode 8 has the world border bit, the wither, and then it just announces that meetup is happening. Now, the reason it stops at episode 8 rather than, like episode 6, which I guess you could do as well if you wanted, or, like episode 10, where like some traditional UHCs would be, is because of the fact that this doesn't really have enough storage space to collect up to 10 pulse. So I decided to make it, just the median of, traditional and standard UHC nowadays, and make the meetup episode 8, which we didn't even get to. We got to episode 5, second shortest season. So that's fun. Anyways, the first tick of the daylight sensor actually also disables this. As you can see, it pushes it up. That way it doesn't like mess up. But it also leads to this massive string of commands, and I'm gonna go over them. Um, this gives resistance for infinite time. This puts every player into adventure mode. That way, as the game starts, they can't just start breaking things already. This also temporarily disables mob spawning. This gives slowness and makes it peaceful. Just a message to be like, hey, the game's gonna start soon. Just chill. um, this one gives all the players into teams. This gives every player regeneration. That way, if your name is Grand Slam Blocker, you're not killing people at the start of the game. Um, this takes it to mob spawning true, and then gives everyone cooked beef, and then spreads the players. Spread players is actually kind of like a complicated command because it works based off of how many players are there. Um, I'll demonstrate it later. This gives absorption. I think it gives like 6 hearts in this case. In this case, this is a countdown, which yes, I know is a lot of timers. Um, Basically how this works, right, is each of these is a second longer than each. This has titles. This just enables, like what the titles are set to last for. Here is oh yeah, okay. So some players also, from what I've noticed, mainly people who utilize like Lunar Client and whatnot, don't actually see title cards on their screen. For example, Kai, for example, during our survival games events, he could not see title cards. So what I did as well is I would have it announce it in chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay safe. Yada yada yada. And may the odds ever be with you because Hunger Games. Um, this just quickly changes it before it hits the start. changes difficulty to hard, clears any effects and whatnot, time says day. And then this also gives us absorption again, does a wolf howl to, start the game and whatnot. Daylight cycle true, put it at the start of the day, and puts everyone into survival. Now, another thing I do as well, and not everyone does it, and you can easily just, break or disable the command block if you don't want it, is I also give everyone permanent night vision. For the content creators, the group, it just makes the videos look a lot better. That way you're not, like, upping the saturation and whatnot and the brightness of the video when you're, like, in caves. It just helps a lot. And I will go ahead and demonstrate it real quick. If we just do that, it'll do that, and then we get rid of these. These command blocks will be fixed by the time the map is out and whatnot. It won't say Soulcraft UHC. In the future, I'll also try to make it to where it's fully customizable, be like a book or something, and it also be like a data pack. Um, and this is mostly because like most data packs I've seen with the UHC configuration, while they are good, um, do need a lot of work. Um, so this is just the most optimized I can make it at the moment. Um, Again, I will, make sure everything's fixed. Oh yeah, a couple other things as well is teams. The way you want to do that is you can do team add and then, team name, say example, right? Um, you've got your team and then you can, team modify example, and then you can change a bunch of things like collision rules, color, death message visibility, display name, friendly fire name tag visibility, prefix, friendly fire suffix, etc. This just makes it a lot easier, that way you can disable PvP for the first episode or so, just to make sure, again, people don't kill each other. Um, That being said, I don't know if IPVP is also disabled. I will have to check. Um, and yeah, again with the spread players, it is based off of like the players you have. Like a player could be spread anywhere from 80 blocks away to 500 blocks away. Because I've done this in the past with like very very jerry rigged versions of this. um where it has suffocated people in the border even if the border was like really big, so it's just something you gotta tweak and whatnot, but this is usually pretty good. um that's about it. I know this was kind of like an Ethos Labs uh or like old Seth Bling type video. um and one last thing now that I think about it. If you do want to put this into your world, for example, um, what you can do is you can get a wooden axe. Now you will need the world edit mod, which I will link down below as well. And you can hit that, and then if you go over here, and I will just, do this. What you can do is first you can do copy, and then you're going to do schem like that, and then save, and then call it like UHC setup, right? And then what you can do is you can go into your preferred world of choice. Make sure it is in your spawn chunks when you do this, and 1.20 and below should be fine. Within, like I think it's a 32 radius, 32 chunk radius, which I think that's about like 6 chunks from the center of the world where you spawn or wherever you set your world spawn point to. Um, in 1.20.1, they actually changed that to be a 3x3, aka 9 total chunks around you. So you may want to adjust that if you want. This should fit either way. I mean, oh, this takes. I'll have to find a way to like compact this down. But that'll be for like an update. But yeah, what you'll want to do is you'll go into your world and then you will go near your spawn. Some people like to put it at the bottom of the world, though this kind of, jacks it up because of the fact that, it needs a daylight sensor for it. Um, yeah, you'll go to your world and then you'll do skim load, UHC, whatever it was called, right? And then you'll be able to paste it wherever you want. Now, do remember the way you copied it is the way it'll paste, like in terms of its orientation. So do be careful. I will clean this up a little bit to make it easier to like have a spot where you can copy it without it being too much of an issue. Um, and yeah, that'll be it. I do apologize if this was kind of like a really scrappy video compared to, like I beat Pokemon Scarlet with a Typhlosion, which y'all should watch, by the way. I just wanted to throw this together because, I've been really getting into the whole creating things in Minecraft with command blocks and whatnot, and, maybe become better than Gurg. That's a joke, by the way. Love his mini games. But yeah, besides that, happy Pride Month. Stay hydrated and goodbye. We